In this video, we'll talk about what happens when you get denied entry into the United States at an airport. So imagine your bags are packed, you go into the airport and you want to board a plane and they say no, you can't board a plane because you are banned for whatever reason. So what do we do in those cases? Let's talk about this in this video and I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody. In this video, we'll talk about what happens when somebody gets denied entry into the United States at an airport as they're about to board a plane or about to come to the United States. And also I'll talk about a few things that can happen when somebody actually lands in the US and they're denied entry by the CBP. So before we talk about that, if you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe to our channel because we release videos every single week and you don't want to miss that. Click that bell to be notified. Also, click that like to be notified so YouTube will be able to share this video with other people that are interested in the same content. Once again, I am Jacob Sapochnick. I'm an immigration attorney located in beautiful San Diego, California. And we represent clients in all 50 states, and we're happy to share this information with you because that's based on comments from viewers like you. So I'm going to read a question that was posted in our private Facebook group, which you can join as well by clicking the link in the description of this video. And this is a situation where somebody was trying to come to the United States, they were at the airport, and they were barred entry because of a wrong assumption that the person is barred. So let me read you that and then we'll talk about that. My fiance, a Chilean citizen with a tourist visa, is at the airport in Santiago and they're not allowing him to fly. LATAM says that the US has barred entry to all known citizens, but when I called the State Department today, they said no such ban exists for Chile and I should call the embassy in Santiago, but the embassy is closed and their emergency number sent me back to the State Department number in DC, where I'm told that they cannot do anything. So essentially, this is just one example, and we see a lot of these complaints that we get in our comments and emails. There are people that are essentially trying to come to the United States, navigating whether they are, remember that we have all these different bans. We have country bans, we've got the proclamation, we've got people that are coming from a country where they have to be quarantined. So there's all these different things. It's really important before you are planning to come to the United States to understand, first of all, if you're even able to do so. So first of all, there's no ban to all known citizens. If you have a tourist visa, if you have any of the visas that are not currently on the ban, so if you currently hold an H-1B visa, if you currently hold an L visa, you're able to come, right? The ban is specifically talking about people that don't have those visas yet in their passports. They're not able to apply for that kind of visa at the US Embassy at the moment. But if you have a visa, if you have a current travel document, you are able to come to the United States, right? So there's a lot of misconception at different port of entries, at different airports. So this is just one example from Chile. We have another example from an airport in Frankfurt, Germany, where a person that actually had an L visa in his passport and he wasn't allowed to board a plane because they said that L visas are banned. And once again, as I said, L visas for new applicants who don't have those visas in the passports are not able to get them. But people that are currently have visas, they should be able to board a plane and come to the United States. So what do you do in those instances where either you're not allowed to board a plane or when you come to the United States and CBP determines that they have to send you back? If you're denied boarding a plane at your country, so if you're already in your country and you go to the airport and they just won't let you board, the first thing you need to do is email the US Embassy and present the problem. In this case, the example from Chile, they try to call. Right now, they're not answering the phone. I suggest to email the embassy and present the issue and say, I am eligible, I have a visa, I am a tourist, or whatever the category is that shows that you're not subject to any bars. And aside from the fact that you don't have any issues with a criminal background or anything like that, they wouldn't see anyway because you just show up at the airport with your passport, you would need immediately to email the embassy, the US Embassy, to let them know of the issue so they can educate the USCIS represents at the airport or whoever is doing it at the airport to make sure that you are eligible to fly. So that's kind of like an isolated thing if it happens at the airport in your country. What happens when you arrive to the United States? What happens if they determine that you're not eligible to enter. So if they determine that you're not eligible to enter, they can either force you to use the same ticket, to change it to return on the same day of the next flight. They'll add a fee for your plane ticket so you can get another plane ticket to leave the next day, or they'll make you buy a completely new ticket so they can send you back right away if they determine that you're not eligible to enter. Typically, when you face a CBP officer, they'll do a general background check. They'll see in the computer if you have previous overstay of visa, previous denials, anything that's suspicious about what you told them or something that they saw in your paperwork, and finally, conflict with your travel documents, right? These are the common typical reasons that people usually are sent back after they are sent to secondary inspection. Right now, with the COVID-19 restrictions, quite a few CBP officers also make mistakes, right? So some of us, we have cases with CBP officers who mistakenly believe that somebody should be barred if they're not barred. For example, if they're coming on, like I said, right now, recently on an H-1B visa, and they didn't find the person to, they didn't think that there was an employer. So it's nothing to do with the ban, but there are some misconceptions about when a job should start, when the starting date of a job. A lot of CBP officers are making assumptions and decisions outside of their scope, and sometimes it can happen at the airport. So we've seen cases happen where H-1B applicants or recipients were denied entry and sent back. Wrong proclamation applications to people sent back at the port of entry. So these things are happening in addition to the regular denials that people already had at the airport based on the things that I mentioned before. So what do you do? So typically, if a CBP officer has an intention to deny your entry to the United States, they'll send you to a secondary inspection. At a secondary inspection, they typically will conduct an interview and start asking you questions, your name, your address. They're going to go through your documents. They may ask to see your phone or your computer. And based on what they find, and based on the answers you tell them, they'll make a decision whether to let you in or send you back. If they want to send you back, what you can do is the following. Make sure, first of all, to stay calm and relaxed and understand again the reasons why they're sending you back. Never let a CBP officer convince you to say or sign something that you don't believe you've done or have done. For example, we have a lot of cases of people that were coerced to admit that they were working just because it was the long investigation. They finally admitted that they did work. That could be a reason for a more extensive bar, but that's another reason why a lot of people were denied entry, because the assumption of that they worked illegally at some point or they're coming to work. Make sure to review the form that they typed in before you sign. Sometimes they'll put information that you didn't say or you said it in a different way. If you sign this form, that's the only record that will be there, and when you go back to the embassy to apply for a new visa, they're gonna use that record against you. So make sure you review the form. If you disagree with what is said there, ask the officer to correct it before you sign it. Never be rude to the officer. Always be polite and understanding, and try to get all the information and get the notes as to exactly what happened on that day. The fact is that nobody can guarantee your entry to the United States, and especially now under this COVID-19 crisis with all these bans that we have, the executive orders, the different visa types that keep adding to the list. Even the government is confused about who is able to enter and who is not. So it's really important to understand that if you're on a plane and you come to the United States, there is no guarantee that you will enter. But it's really important to be prepared, understand all the implications of you not being able to enter. Make sure you're prepared before you go. And if you are not sure whether you are able to come to the United States, make sure you speak to an attorney before you take that plane to cover all the bases and help you guarantee that or increase your chances to be able to come to the United States. Once you send back, there's some things still can be done. We can apply for a new visa. We try to fight it with the U.S. Embassy. There's still things that can be done. It's not the end of the world. But that's why it's important to keep those notes, stay relaxed, and be informed that this is a situation. We live in a different new era right now, and things happen. So once again, if this happened to you, let me know in the comments below, and we'll be happy to address those comments and make more videos to specifically on the topics that you want to learn. So if this information was helpful, click that like, leave us a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.